it was a woman decided to go outside on a sunny day to water her plants. And as she walked outside, she found 3 men standing in her lawn. One of the men was dressed very successful and he looked very wealthy. Another man would look very athletic. And it was another man that he was very charming. So the man just caught her attention. So she asked the man if they wanted to come to her porch to get some cover from the sun while she was watering her plant, that she may serve them some lemonade. So the man asked her, one of the men asked her, "Is your husband home?" And the woman replied, "No, he's not home from work yet." So the man said to her, "Well, we cannot come in unless your husband is at home." So when the man decided to stay and wait, when the husband get home, she ran to the garage to meet the husband and to tell them what had just taken place. He probably had some time had passed. So she described to the husband the situation that had just taken place. So then the husband said, "Well, I'm here now. Ask them to come in." So as she approached the man told her, "Only one of us can come in. Only one of them could come in." And the woman said, "Okay, let me discuss it with my husband." And the woman went back to inside of the house and asked the man and tell the husband, "Hon, only one of them will be able to come in. So we had to choose which one we wanted to come in." So the woman went back outside and he said, "Well, why do I have to choose? Why can all 3 of you can come in?" And one of them decided, say, look at me. I'm very athletic. If I come in, then you have to choose if you want me. I'm just very athletic. I'm very successful. Everything that I do is just success. Then the other one said, "Well, no, you may want it to have me because I am riches. I have all kind of money. So you may want to invite me in." So then the other one replied, said, "Well, perhaps you may want to have me. Don't you see that I have a pretty face? I may want to get invited in. So you have to choose which one of us you want." The woman went back inside and told her husband, we have to decide between success, riches, or the charming one that called himself love. So then the husband go back and forth and say, "No, I want riches inside of the house." You know, men always want the money. So then the woman say, "No, have success inside because he looks so athletic and we will be able to follow all his lead and we will be able to have a successful bodybuilder type like how he have and eat healthy and everything." And they went back and forth to decide and they could not come in with an agreement. So the woman went back and said, "Well, since we can't agree, what you think? Let's just choose the other option that we didn't consider." So she went outside and told the man and said, "Okay, after deliberating, we decided to go with love." And as she opened the door for the man that called love to come inside the house, the other 2 follow. Success and riches follow. And she said, "Oh, wait a minute. How can you come in if you told me only one of you could come in?" And Success replied, he said, "Well, wherever love go, I follow, and also riches follow. But if you would have choose me, Success, I just go solo. I don't need anybody. You look at this body. I don't need anyone. And riches have all kind of money, so he don't need anyone." So the moral of the story is that if you choose love, everything will follow. So that's one of the things that we wanted to make sure to bring you today and let you understand that love conquered it all. Love will always open a door for everything else to come after that. Love will be love will be able to let you decide that, hey, now we happy and we have money and we can take all this travel and we can do all this stuff because love is there. If love is not there, we don't have anything. Love will never ceases. Love never ceases. Love, let me tell you, the proof of love is the desire to give. When you give, you love. This is how love is being manifested. Even when we think about God, God loves us so much that he gave us his son to clean us from our sin, that we may be able to redeem ourselves. Love conquers fear. So I challenge you to bring back love into your home. What about marriage? It's so many things. People often just wonder, okay, now I got married. What am I supposed to do now? I don't know how to just live with someone else because I've been living by myself all along and all of this stuff. So when you hear about marriage, how do you describe it?
Well, for me, marriage is a covenant that you make in front of the eyes of God between two people, a man and a woman, to be together for their entire lives.
Yes. As you can see, marriage is a verb. It's not a noun.
Active.
It's not a noun. Please hear this. It's not a noun. It's not something that you get, right? Mm-hmm. It's not something that you do. It's the way how you love your spouse.
Exactly. Through
the good, the bad, through sickness and health, if you have money or not. That is marriage.
Yep.
Love unconditional. So when a lot of people say marriage is 50-50, what do you think?
I don't think so.
Marriage is not 50-50. Divorce is 50-50 because everything gets split up. In marriage, you need to bring your 100. You need to bring 100%. Both parties, the wife and the husband, must bring everything they got.
Exactly.
So it can make it work.
Nice. To leave and cleave stresses the necessity of radical change in one's preeminent loyalty. A husband is to transfer to his wife the primary familial loyalty.
The responsibility is on the husband in the first place because a wife's sense of security comes from being bonded to her husband.
God designed marriage to operate as the most important relationship in our lives. Children, being a blessing from God, cannot be more important than the husband-wife relationship.
And when a husband cleaves to his wife, it is more likely that his wife will find fulfillment in their marriage. So when we get the understanding of live and cleave, it is crucial for a marriage relationship.
Yes.
It is crucial that everyone understand the order that things should go. And now we're gonna, because a lot of times people think that marriage is about luck. That if you got a good marriage, it's just because you're lucky. They say, oh, you're lucky because you got a good marriage, you got a good wife, or you got a good husband. It's not so. A good marriage is about wisdom.
Yes.
It's about wisdom. You have to be able to use wisdom in your marriage. Here in this show, if you stick with us, we will save you hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars in counseling sessions, sitting in someone's couch. Just sitting from your bedroom or from the comfort of your home, you will be able to take these principles that we will give you every week to be able to strengthen your marriage or fix a marriage that is at risk or is going through a challenging time right now.
Absolutely.
So let's just get your pen and paper and follow through with us with this session so you will be able to strengthen your marriage or fix areas in your marriage that require fixing. equality. Since the early days of our history, women have had to fight for equality, and in a marriage, this should not be the case. Jesus created Adam and Eve, and he never indicated that one is more powerful than the other. They need to live as equal. Wives expect the same today. Therefore, husbands should respect their wife by making sure that they do not make decisions alone. Being equal and showing respect also means that some things are expected for the wife and some things are expected from the husband. As you can see, God did not take the bone from Adam's foot or from Adam's back. He took it from his ribs. That means that we need to be helpers, right? We need to be considered equals. And in considering equals, we need to be being able to treat each other with respect as my equal. If I consider you the same, then I'm not superior to you and I'm not below you, no matter what. No matter what background, no matter who was born first, who was born last, it doesn't have nothing to do with that. It has to do with just the way how God created each other. Also, if you can see, like, I'm gonna give you an example. Like, some chores is expected that the wife to do, right? It's expected that the wife will cook, will clean, will do laundry. But the husband cannot expect also that she will do all of that in addition to washing his cars, washing her car, taking the trash outside, doing cutting the grass, and shoveling snow in the wintertime. Some tasks and some chores, it's expected that it will be each other will be able to gravitate towards that, because shoveling snow is more as very physical.
Physical, yeah.
Some wives like to do it, and some couples find a way to do it as fun. But for the most part, it's just nice and a level of equality that the wife will make sure that create a nice environment. Even if she cook or not, or if she clean or somebody else clean, perhaps a maid service or something. But even if the husband need to do the shoveling or the snow, he can pay for someone else to do it. But it's expected that should come from his end because of this physical type of work that is involved. So as an equal, make sure that those things are taken into account as you develop different chores within your house to be able to keep the level of respect within the marriage.
Yeah, and it's just like Sheila said. So God chose the rib of Adam to make woman. Well, it's interesting because the ribs protect the heart.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, you know, that's very symbolic and yet very, very important.
Lesson that both couples can learn from sports. Now we got our first team sports that we're gonna discuss today is baseball.
Baseball. So baseball, the take-home message from it is keep them guessing. This doesn't mean expecting your mate to read your mind. It means keeping some mystery and delight in your marriage.
Yes, baseball, it was one of the first team sports that I played because it was so simple. Back in Panama, we play baseball with tennis balls and a broomstick. So
wow.
You have to be able to know how to swing the ball with a little ball and a broomstick. And some of us will get a wider stick and they be able to swing the ball. So baseball, in most Latin countries, that's the first sport because it doesn't require that. It doesn't require much to be able to play. And it's always a lot of kids in the neighborhood. So that way everybody happen to be in one of the teams. So let's go with our number 2 sport.
So number 2, volleyball.
Volleyball. Volleyball tells us that practice makes perfect. The most often you share what is in your heart with your spouse and what your feelings are like to one another, then the stronger your marriage becomes. Volleyball is the sport that I play. So I was not good at serving at the beginning. So I needed to play. All my friends were so good at volleyball, and I had to try more than everybody else. I had to play and practice more and more, harder to become a good volleyball player. Obviously, I was not excellent. My serving, so my ball would not hit the net. I had to practice and practice and practice, and that's what you need to do with your marriage. Practice speaking to your feelings, to disclose your feelings to your husband. Practice being kind. Practice being nice to him, and to be able to communicate your feelings and the expectations. That way you will come so good at it.
I have to admit, I would have liked to seen you playing some beach volleyball.
Well, I didn't play beach volleyball. I didn't like to put in two-piece suits, so I play regular volleyball where it's 6 on one team and 6 on the other team.
Okay. I actually didn't remember that it was 6 on 6.
Yeah, volleyball.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you how much you know about sports.
Yeah, I wasn't a volleyball player. I mean, I played pickup games, throughout my life, but never professionally.
So let's go with our number 3.
So number 3 is lacrosse. So people should know about that. It's very popular here in Maryland. So in lacrosse, we learn about fair fighting. So as we know, in lacrosse, you can do checking, which is where you can use your stick to block or try to loosen the ball from the other player. And oftentimes, lacrosse is also a really fast-paced sport. So between the checking and the fast pace, what we can learn from that is that couples must pace themselves in order to achieve victory for their team, and they have to do it in such a way that is constructive.
So lacrosse, as we know, they don't play lacrosse in Panama either.
No, I don't even think do they even know what a lacrosse stick looks like?
No, they don't play lacrosse in Panama either. So it's a more, pretty much a good, not a Latin American sport.
Yeah.
However, what we learn from lacrosse is that you have to be able to you have certain rules that you have to follow. You cannot hit your opponent in certain areas. Mm-hmm. So you have to be able to fight fair. What we say about fighting fair, you can tell your husband or your wife, scream things that they have confide to you in secret, that they have confide to you as being your best friend, that now we arguing about the bathroom, who left the bathroom light on. Now I'm going to tell you all the stuff that you said to me in confidence. That's not fighting fair. That's like a low blow in boxing. You can't do that. Exactly. And it's not recommended for you to do that because it's not going to end right. Mm-hmm. It's not going to end right. It's going to go from one thing to the next, and it will turn badly very, very quickly.
And just like we know, a shot to the head is going to get you penalized. So don't do it. I mean, we talked about the having house rules. Well, if you've mutually agreed on it, then don't go out of your zone and violate that on purpose.
Yes. Let's go with our number 4 team sports, and that is basketball, one of my favorites. What basketball teaches is wait for the right moment. Although you should pick the right time to have a difficult conversation, don't wait too long before having the talk. So basketball, what it teaches, you have 24 seconds to shoot the ball. If you wanted to have difficult conversation with your husband, don't overdo it. Don't wait a week when everybody forgot about it to have a conversation on something that happened a week ago. So with timing, basketball teaches that you have 24 seconds. You have 3 seconds to cross over the line on the other side of the team, and you have 24 seconds to shoot, right? From the minute your team hit the ball, get the ball. don't wait too long, but wait the right time to shoot so you can score.
Exactly.
Right? Don't wait too long because they will call it off and you will just lose. You will have to turn over the ball to the other team. So make sure that you shoot the ball in the right time. Have the right conversation at the right time. Don't do it as soon as you plan. You arguing about the lights. Now you're talking about, okay, where we gonna go to our honeymoon?
Yeah.
Where we gonna go to our anniversary trip this next year? Where we planning to go? It's not the right timing. Yeah. It's not the right timing.
Yeah, and just like every sport, many sports, you get multiple opportunities. So don't try to bring everything into, you don't bring everything into one shot.
Yeah.
There's probably 70 or 80 opportunities in a game to make a shot. Well, the same. Don't save up all your little discussions or conversations so that you're trying to deal with them all at once. Do them gradually and with good timing, and your outcomes are going to be more favorable.
And remember, it's just the topic at hand. Don't bring another topic or what make you mad 2 months ago, what make you mad 3 years ago. Make sure that you keep one topic at the time and just discuss it in the right deliverance, the right tone of voice, and the right attitude, because that matters.
Exactly.
That make a difference. Let's go to our number 4 team sport.
Actually, it's the number 5. It's hockey. So, hockey, when you have a shootout in hockey, it's preceded by a 2-minute break. There are many times when if you are having a disagreement, which you need to give the other person some space. We're not talking about separate vacations in the middle of an argument, but giving your spouse some time to gather his or her thoughts can result in a more healthy discussion. So, as we know, in hockey, if you commit a foul, you go to the penalty box, and it's like a little timeout. Well, that can be good and bad. I mean, it does mean that the other teammates have to fill in for you, and they call that a power play. So that means that you're at a disadvantage. But on the other hand, it forces the rest of the team to make up for that loss during that time.
Yes, congratulations to the Capitals.
Yeah.
That won the Stanley Cup for the one time in a lifetime.
Yes.
They did it this year. Congratulations to Ovechkin that he came from so far away to win that Stanley Cup for the Capitals.
Many
we are
times
happy
close
about that.
And never made it, and this time they made it. So
yes. It was truly so many people praying for them. So this time they was able to cross over the hurdle. See how you do the hurdle? They was able to battle together to be able to win that Stanley Cup. So let's go to number 6. And number 6 sports is soccer, one of my favorites. So many folks play soccer, especially people that come from Latin American country, because we only need a ball and a lot of people, and we play soccer because it's a simple game, easy to understand, and it improves your physical fitness, and it is fun. Part of creating a successful marriage is scheduling date nights, laughing together, relaxing together, and having fun together. So in what we learn from soccer, that is a simple game, right? So in marriage, we can just be happy by doing simple things. Mm-hmm. Everything don't have to be exclusive, luxurious vacation, although I enjoy those too. But that cannot be every single day or every single month. Yeah. But you have to be able to go take a walk in the evening. Now that it's summer, you can take a nice evening walk in the park with the dogs. You can, or without the dogs, or with your husband. You can just go to the movie theater. People who say that the movie theater is too expensive, then you can go to other movie theaters. They still have the matinees that you can go to, where you can get popcorn and everything at reduced price. You can just do things that don't cost money. Go to walk around in a festival. Yeah. You can just go to an event, go to church together, make it a date night to go to church, and then after that, just relax at home. Just sit in your backyard with a lemonade. Mm-hmm. Just eat watermelons, melons, grapes. Just do all the things that you enjoy together and get some satisfaction. Just walk through the city. Go see some monuments. Go to museums. Yeah. Go to a library. All of these things doesn't cost money. It's not a big budget to be able to do those activities, but it will be very rewarding at the end of the day, and just enjoy your life together.
Yeah. Or grab a ball and go kick it back and forth, and you're playing soccer.
And you're playing soccer. Yes. Yes.
So.
Number 7.
Last but not least,
my husband's favorite.
And what my favorite is football. We're talking about American football. So in Latin America, they call football soccer. So just to clarify, in football, the object is to get the ball to the end zone more often than your opponent. So the key here is don't sabotage your marriage. In order to reach your goals as a couple, you need to work together as a team, and you're striving to make one more touchdown.
Yes. Football is a team sport that a lot of time people don't understand it, right? Mm-hmm. The thing to understand is that 2 different teams. You have the offense and you have the... Yep. So when the offense is in the field, the objective is to score a touchdown. I don't know how they call this team football because they're not really kicking and they're throwing. So the real football is soccer in my world. So anyway, they play those, and they're being able to just, and then the defense on the other side, the objective is for them to keep the offensive team from scoring. Mm-hmm. So it's very physical. I don't like the physicality of it sometimes, but it's very physical, it's very aggressive, it's a lot of trash talking that we don't hear. You have to go to the live event to be able to experience those and to be able to see what go on in a football game. Some lessons. today about benefits of being married.
Which are numerous.
And numerous benefits. So let's continue on with our next list of benefits that you will get as being married.
So we were talking about different financial benefits, and another area is government benefits. So receiving Social Security, Medicare, and disability benefits from your spouse. Along the same lines, you can receive veterans and military benefits for your spouse, as well as those for education, medical care, and special loans.
Yes, some spouses, even just by being married to a military, they'll be able to get some points into the government application. Mm-hmm. So you will be able to be considered on the higher list. Yes. To be able to be offered an interview, for them to even look at your application. If you get additional points, you get, I think, 10 points by just being married to a military personnel.
Yeah,
so that's a
nice
benefit.
Little free benefit.
Yeah.
And of course, you receive public assistance benefits that may not be available to just an individual.
Yes. So let us go into the employee benefits. But being now, during this time of the year, is the open enrollment in many companies. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that you should do is to bring your package and discuss those benefits with your spouse. Because you have from medical, dental, vision, 401k, you have pension, you have profit sharing, you have an array of benefits.
Life insurance. That
your company may be offering those to you at little to no cost. So the medical benefits, if the spouse have, which one of the two have the best benefits is the one that you should consider joining in. If both is similar, you still perhaps should just do one. That way you will meet your deductible quicker as a family than as an individual. So if your spouse carries the medical, maybe the other spouse should consider carrying the dental and vision because they're very little. And if they're not as good as the husband, if they both have the same, then the other spouse or the spouse can carry all of those if they have a better package or if the salary is higher than the other spouse. And that way it will be easier to be able to balance all the other bills that are available to pay as a family, as a team.
Yeah.
So on part of that, you'll be able, let us know about the 401k.
So 401k is a great thing. It gives you the ability to have a retirement vehicle that many times also an investment vehicle. And you can use it, both of you could have it if it's offered by your individual employers. And you can maximize it, and oftentimes that maximum includes a employer match. And you really want to, if at all possible, you try to maximize that out. A lot of single people say, oh, I really don't make enough to contribute. But a lot of times when you have combined income, like we talked about before, your power to save is greater because now you have two incomes. So you can use that to maximize your 401k. And the great thing about a 401k is you can oftentimes borrow off of that money. And it's there for retirement. It reduces your overall household income and your personal income, and it's all pre-tax.
Yeah.
So all that money is coming out before you get taxed on that.
Yeah. Another benefit that you will get by being married is to be able to take care of your spouse. You have 12 weeks, a year, depending on your company. Some companies have it established on a 12-month rolling basis or on a calendar year. So if you work for an employer for more than a year or 1,250 hours in the preceding calendar year, then, or in the preceding rolling 12 month, you will be able to take care of your spouse only if you marry, because you can be able to invoke FMLA. That is a federal mandate for any employer who have more than 50 people in a 75 miles radius. So that is important for you to understand that that benefit is available to you to take advantage of that. You also get, as an employee benefits, bereavement leave. So you will get bereavement leave for your spouse. Some company give you 3 days, some company give you 5 days. And for all the family of the spouse, your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, your brother-in-law, sister-in-law, you get all of those, even the grandparents. You will get bereavement days available to you to be able to attend funerals and to help with funeral arrangement of your spouse family during a catastrophe.
Wow. That's really nice to know that when you have a spouse, you have someone to take care of you in the event of something very sad like that.
Yes. In addition, you will be able to get workers' comp. Workers' comp and retirement benefits after your spouse, in the event of death, the surviving spouse will be able to claim that. So if your spouse was in workers' comp before he died, you can claim those benefits in addition to other retirement benefits and other like Social Security and other ones that we already mentioned before.
That's excellent.
Yes. So let's go to the medical benefits.
So then we also have medical benefits. Medical benefits are visiting your spouse in a hospital intensive care unit or during restricted visiting hours in other parts of a medical facility.
Yes, if you are not the spouse, sometimes they will not let you go inside of the critical intensive care units. You will not be able to get there. So you'll be able to visit your wife or your husband in a catastrophe, in an event of a crisis like that, to the hospital, no matter in what area they are located.
And along the same lines, as a spouse, you have the legal right to make certain medical decisions for your spouse if they're incapacitated or not able to express their own wishes.
Yes, you can do that for medical issues, making financial decisions, for financial decisions and for medical decisions.
Yes.
So you as a spouse are able to do that. The other benefits that we have is family benefits. You'll be able to file for your step-parents, your step-kids. You can file for them on your taxes. You also can apply for joint foster care rights together. As a spouse, you can do that together and get some benefits there.
Nice. And then there's other benefits, housing benefits. These are all benefits of marriage, by the way, folks. Living in neighborhoods zoned for families only.
Yeah, some apartment complex, they only have it where they don't want to rent for only males or only females, for whatever the reason may be. But if you have a family, they will rent you or they will allow you to live there depending on the community association.
And you can also automatically renew a lease that's been signed by your spouse with the same name.
Yes, if your spouse is traveling and the lease is expired, if you have your spouse is military, if your spouse travel a lot, then you'll be able to extend and sign the lease to continue there while your spouse is away.
That's really nice.
Let us talk about the consumer benefits of things. You will be able to get good homeowners and rates. Auto, when you marry, your auto policy, they will give you a discount because you are married. When you have insurance, other type of insurance, if you filing for life insurance, if you married, your rates is a little better than you are single. If you are married male, your rate is lower than if you are single male.
Wow. So that speaks to that statistic of gaining 16% just that first year of marriage.
Yes. You also be able to get tuition in schools at a lower rate if you are married than if you were single.
Amazing. Even
to get other health benefits. If you marry, you get better rates than if you are single.
So the benefits just don't seem to ever end,
don't end. So I don't understand why people choose not to get married, but it's many reasons to get married and to stay married. The other thing that some people may be able to take advantage of that is claiming marital communication privilege. what does that mean? That no one can force you to disclose any content or a confidential communication that you have with your spouse.
Wow.
So as we see a lot of things that happen in TV, you are never seeing a wife of a politician, of all of those people that have brought into with the Me Too, that are being accosted at work and be accused of sexual harassment, and no time, any of those spouse was brought into questioning.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
So that is one of the things that as a benefit to you, you don't have to, no one can make you disclose that information. Whatever you speak with your spouse, it can stay there and no one can force you to do that, to speak on that.
That's really good. So there's some other benefits that are related to death benefits. You can consent to after-death examinations and procedures, like autopsy, things like that.
Yes.
And then you can make burial or other death arrangements for your spouse. So
yes.
That's often hard to do if you're a single person and you don't have family close by, or maybe your parents are dead. Who's then, going to see after your affairs after you're gone? Your spouse legally is automatically in that position to do that.
Resolving conflicts require forgiveness. The key to maintaining an open, intimate, and happy marriage is to ask for and grant forgiveness quickly. And the ability to do that is tied up with each other's relationship with God. Forgiving means giving up resentment and the desire to punish your spouse for something that they did. An act of will and to let the other person off the hook. As a Christian, you do not need to do this under duress, screaming and protesting about forgiveness. Rather, you need to do it in a gentle spirit, with love and care. So I tell you all this to know that even if we look at Matthew 6:14, it says, God forgiving us, so we need to forgive the other person. So if you need God to forgive you, you also need to be able to forgive your spouse, especially your spouse. That's the person that you share, you bow your life to, you in health and in sickness, and in richer for poorer, and you live in every living day. The first person that you see when you wake up, the last person you see when you go to bed. Yes. And it's so sad that you're going to be not being able to be forgiven of your spouse whenever a situation arrives. Forgiveness is become such a hard thing. And people don't like to do it. They don't like to express it because they feel that, they're losing. They feel like why am I going to do this and why am I going to do that? Now, also remember, you cannot be so vocal and scream out your house. And when the time comes, you want to go to your mother's house and ask your mother or your sister or your brother to call your spouse. Forgive my little sister. She get all off the way. No, you need to be able to go in person, talk to your spouse, and being able to be open and caring with them. Not over the phone. You can do it over the phone. Not on a text and think when you come home, send a text or send an email and think that when you come home, everything is rosy-dory. You have to be able to ask for forgiveness verbally, face-to-face, with a loving and caring attitude.
Exactly.
So my hope for you is that you will, being able to, as difficult as it sounds, you will work through conflict in marriage. I believe that when you have God, I believe this for you, that when you have God in your life, in your marriage, at the third core on a relationship, just like we have it in our logo,
Exactly.
is the third core is you, your spouse, and God. If you include God into your affairs, you will always just being able to just get over whatever conflict, whatever crisis, whatever thing is going on in your marriage. Point number 10. Have sex and lots of it. Women don't like to talk about having sex, but this is the fun part of your marriage. Have sex. No one will charge you for it. No one will ever criticize you for it. Grab your husband and have sex. Marital intimacy is a powerful spiritual bonding agent, and consistent sex, healthy sex, connects you to your spouse in a way that no one else, nothing else can. Sex is spiritually powerful because it's meant to point you towards deeper intimacy, not only with your spouse, but also in the eyes of God. Intimacy in the bedroom can help foster spiritual intimacy and vice versa. Mm-hmm. I was talking to a friend and she was like, oh, my husband don't let me go. He don't know if you're going to go to. I said, look, all you need to do is just romance him and make sure you have sex with him tonight and all this stuff. And she just stopped talking. She was like, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Like if I was talking about something so abnormal. She had 3 kids, for God's sake. You have 3 kids.
Where did you think they
so
came from?
Where did the babies came from? Where did you came from? Where did I came from?
Yeah.
It's inevitable. So enjoy sex, have sex, plenty of it, because it will make you stop fighting, for one. If you have more sex, you won't have time to be fighting. You won't have time to be disagreeing. You will just order in and spend some time with your husband. You wouldn't be nitpicking or everything that he leave in the room, throw down, or whatever she leave in the room, throw down. Just make sure, have sex. People don't like talking about it, but I am, and we are, because we're going to save you lots of money going to counseling session, talking about what's wrong. Yeah, they only have sex once a week. Some people twice a month. Come on, that's ridiculous. Have sex and lots of it. I said it. Have sex. That's what you need in your marriage. Some laughing time, some sex time, and intimacy. Sit around, have pillow talks with your husband. Have pillow talk with your wife. That's what's missing. Exactly. That needs to be rekindled and incorporated in your marriage. Then you won't have time to think about it deeper. You will be able to say, okay, we're going to grow together because I feel so much better. Last night was such good. Then the next night, and then you're looking forward for the other opportunity. Yeah, some people work hard, and sometimes different schedules don't allow you to have it as much as you like it, but incorporate it. Don't let it go 2-3 days without having sex. Have sex and lots of it.
Thank you for joining us on Heart to Heart with Mike and Sheila. This program uses biblical principles to guide you through all the ups and downs, ins and outs that are marriage and relationships. You can reach House of Excellence Ministries at www.imexcellence.org. You can also reach us on Facebook and on Twitter.